What's going on, y'all? It's your boy QUP. Nerds Rule the World. Initial thoughts after screening Scream 7. It's already in theaters now. They didn't screen it early for us press. I don't know why, but I've seen all the Scream films. I wouldn't say I'm a super fan of the franchise at all. I do enjoy it, and my thoughts going into it, I could dig it, I could not. It was more of the same. There's a lot of, from what I've seen from other critics, talking a lot of trash about it. For me, I thought it was all right. It's exactly what I expected. It was cool. I'll have a full review with some other critics on the channel, but yeah, Scream 7 for me. If you like the franchise, they gave you more of the same. It was cool to see Neve Campbell back. I do miss Jenna Ortega and Melissa Barrera that they brought in with 5 and 6, but Neve Campbell has been a staple of the series, so it was good to see her back. But yeah, I'll have a full review on the channel, but for me, I didn't mind it. I dug it. It was more the same. Your boy QUP, Nerds Rule the World. What's up, y'all? NRW, Nerds Rule the World, your boy QUP, and joining me to talk all things Scream, my pal Derek Dunn from Reviews and Dunn. How are you, sir?
Blessed and highly favored.
Let's go. I love it. I'm trying to live up to that. We have a new Scream, sir. Paramount is back with another Scream. There's a lot of background noise behind all of this and where we're going from 1 to 4 to then 5 and 6. And now it feels like we're going back again with 7. But let's show the trailer, sir. And then we'll get into the story that's behind this, some of the cast and our thoughts. You ready to do that?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's go. Scream 7, y'all. Let's check out the trailer.
Can't believe we're staying at the Psycho Killer B&B.
Oh, that's so cool. It's a motion detector.
Hello?
Hello, Sidney. Did you miss me? Nice little town you found. You and your pretty daughter. Reminds me of where we grew up.
Well, you sure know a lot about me for another asshole hiding behind a voice changer.
Oh, I'm not hiding, Sidney. Not this time.
Down to the end.
I want to be a fighter, like you. If you hurt her.
I'm not going to hurt her until you're here to see it.
Let's unmask this fucker.
All your friends died for just being near you.
Where is my daughter?
Tatum, listen to me.
He's trying to find another way in.
We're gonna do this together.
You're gonna have to shoot him through the wall.
Where?
To the right of the door. Shoot him now! Do it now! Oh, you got him. He's dead.
You need to make sure you
You shoot him in the head.
I'm gonna burn it all down.
Mother!
This is gonna be fun.
All right, there you go. That's the trailer for Scream 7. Let me get that other stuff off. I don't know if y'all can see that. Scream 7 in theaters right now as of this recording because it's press. Derek Dunn and they didn't screen it early for us. Maybe there's a reason for that. We'll find out in just a second when we get into our review. Yeah, Scream 7. I'm going to just quickly break down a little bit of the story. Not too much there. You kind of already get it from the trailer. It sets everything up. Ghostface is back. Let's just put it like that. Neve Campbell is back in the series. We didn't see her in 5 and 6, but I'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. But yeah, Neve Campbell's back. She has a daughter, and Ghostface is after them. That's all you really need to know. And we've got her classmates, but a mother and daughter reconnecting and dealing with past traumas. So that's your basic synopsis on the story. Your director on this is the creator of the Scream series, Kevin Williamson. He also wrote this with Guy Busick and James Vanderbilt. The stars on this main cast, because again, there's a lot of people in it. There's a lot of crew as well. But again, because it takes a village. Let me say that. We always say that here on the NRW. It takes a village to make a film. But the main cast that I just want to quickly point out is Neve Campbell, back as Sydney Evans. We have Isabel May as Tatum Evans, her daughter. Courteney Cox is back as Gail Weathers. We have the brother-sister trio of Jasmin Savoy Brown and Mason Gooding as Mindy and Chad Meeks Martin. We have Roger Jackson as the voice of Ghostface. Anna Camp as Jessica Bowden, Joel McHale as Mark Evans, Celeste O'Connor as Chloe Parker, Sam Rechner as Ben Brown, McKenna Grace as Hannah Thurman, Asa German as Lucas Bowden, Matthew Lillard as Stu Mocker, Craig Dane as Carl Gibbs, Ethan Embry as Marco, Mark Consuelos as Robbie Rivers, and Victor Turpin as Deputy Meadows. And just want to give a special shout out to previous NRW guests. Ethan Embry, he's been on the NRW before for an interview. I've also had Celeste O'Connor and McKenna Grace. Shout out to them. Good to see friends of the channel still doing it big in Hollywood. So there's your main cast, your crew, your brief synopsis on the story without spoiling. And we'll do our best to not get into spoilers, even though as we're doing this review, Derek and I's, it's out in theaters. If we do anything, we'll save it to the very end at the end of the credits if Derek and I want to get into that. But let's get into it, Derek. Before we get into our review, Scream 7, before it was announced that it was coming, we had a Scream 1 through 4. We had a 5 and 6 that kind of went away from it a little bit and introduced new leads in the roles in these films. Although some people were in it. And Neve Campbell and Courteney Cox, they were there for 5. Neve didn't show up for 6 when they went to New York, and now we're back with 7. Were you a fan? I'm gonna take you step by step. Were you a fan of the Scream franchise overall before the Scream 7?
Oh yeah, most definitely.
And enjoyed 1 through 4, and then what did you think the turnaround when they went into 5 and 6?
So I enjoy the entire franchise.
Okay.
As a horror fan, it's kind of like by the time you get to 7, you kind of know what to expect. And I kind of knew what they were going to go with here, but they've constantly been able to reinvent and add something new. And you and I both being film fans, it's kind of like you're talking about a 30-year-old franchise. There's not really a whole lot more you can do to keep surprising. Even the most casual horror fan is like, just give me the basics, a couple jump scares, a couple laughs, and
they got a formula.
Good kills.
They got a formula. So before we get in, because I don't want to get into the review yet, but we recognize the formula is what I'm saying. Is to recap what you're saying. So before we got to 7, though, we had the 1 through 4, 5 and 6. We veered off a little bit with Melissa Barrera and Jenna Ortega as kind of like our main leads. What did you think? The shift in 5 and 6 and that introduction before we got to 7.
So I thought the shift works. Again, when I read my review for Scream 5, one of the things I said was cinephiles and even casual moviegoers will notice it's almost like they took the Force Awakens template to where you bring in the OG cast and then you have the new cast and you put them in a situation together where they have to kind of work together, but you're still, in essence, passing the torch to the new cast.
Definitely. I agree. And I didn't mind it. And so I'm assuming you didn't mind it as well. It was cool. So we had that. Now, I want to just get into some background behind the scenes stuff that we as film fans and people that were fans of the franchise, I wouldn't say I'm a fan of the franchise. I enjoy it, but I'm not like a super fan. Like tracking, because there's a lot of people upset because I want to get into that before we get into our review with 7. So they went a different way with 5 and 6. 7 was supposed to be still along those lines, but Melissa Barrera got fired because of comments she made, whether people agree or disagree or not. Jenna Ortega got let go as well because she was down with that, and they had to do a complete planetary shift with the series. Personally, I'm a big fan of Melissa Barrera and Jenna Ortega. I'm rather upset that the studio got annoyed with their politics when they're trying to stand their ground because they have a platform and they got fired because of that. I disagree with that. I wish they could have worked that out. And also, they didn't want to pay Neve Campbell for 6. And so because their ship was sinking, they finally paid Neve Campbell to bring her back. So there's just a lot of issues with that. And I don't know if, personally, I'm not a fan of the studio because of those choices. I would have loved them all to be included in this. But with that being said, I went into this upset with the studio, but still curious for the franchise to just see where they're going to go. How about you? Before we get into our review.
Yeah, just to pivot real quick. So it's like, I see both sides of it, and I'm a fan of Melissa. I've been rocking Melissa since In the Heights. So based on where they were gonna go, and if you guys probably seen the news stories with the whole thing with allegedly, small spoiler, but allegedly Tara being the opening victim kill. Sam kind of goes full Ghostface, but it's like a vigilante. And then I think they were saying what they were going to do was they were going to finally bring in the mom, and her motive was kind of like revenge on Tara, because Tara was the catalyst of finding out that her mom was kind of quote unquote hot in the pants back in the day. So yeah, I think that would have been cool to pull off, especially seeing who they would have, cast as Sam and Tara's mom. Eva Longoria could have brought in J-Lo. It would have been cool to see a Latina, as a horror villain. But I was kind of disappointed with that. But then knowing that Kevin was coming back to direct and to possibly write, and he got Neve back, like, man, what's Kevin cooking up? Because Kevin's like the knees bees when it comes to writing horror. So I kind of let that slide with it to Melissa. But yeah, I was looking forward to seeing where they were ultimately going to go.
All right. Okay, so we put that out there because I know people are like, have a lot of, there's a lot of reviews and thoughts out there. I just wanted to show people and illustrate where we came in with this, right? For you, Derek, and for myself as well. With that being said, I'm fresh out of just seeing it. Again, they screened it. Well, they didn't screen this for us press early prior to like normal, but they did give us tickets to go check it out. And there's a lot of people who have their thoughts out there. I certainly have my own, but I'm gonna let you go first, Derek. What did you think now with how you came into it all? What's your vibe on the story, then cast, and then overall opinion on the new Scream 7?
Okay, so I enjoyed Scream 7, and I've already told you, I'm probably going through after the credits, my biggest gripe with the film. As you all know, it's kind of been critic bombed. It's probably one of the worst reviewed ones in the franchise. I don't think it's that bad. I do think, as my man was saying, that a lot of people kind of went in with the preconceived notion of what they did to Melissa, and that's kind of affecting the viewpoint. But from the opening to how they handle the entire story in the build-up, it was working for me. A big thing I really, really liked was the way that Joe McHale played his role, because Joe's kind of...
He didn't look like Joe McHale. Did Joe lose a lot of weight?
Yeah.
It looked like he got some... I don't know, like he got a stomach bug, but I was like, hold on, is that Joel? Yeah, that's Joel. I was like tripping. I was like, yeah.
Joe's a comedian, but it was a film from 2013, I think 2014, called Deliverance from Evil, where he was a cop, and he got, Joel was kicking ass in that movie. So it was good to see Joel and Neve be like this badass couple who, they aren't here for the bullshit. Like, they were teaming up and making it work. The stuff with Sidney, like being an actual mom and saying, this is why you can't do this. I really identify with that. The kills were on point, bloody and gory. Shout out to Courteney Cox, the way she came back, how she has her own trauma, but she's still like, I still got a job to do, but I'm dealing with my own shit. Of course, my man Mason Gooding, well, I'm like, that's the Black Scream King right there. He's doing his thing. So yeah, I have a big problem with the film that we're gonna get into later on. But I was smiling, I was clapping. I had a good time with it. Save for that one thing that we're going to get into.
Okay, so we'll do at the end of the credits, we'll do a quick spoiler sesh. We won't go too long, but we'll get into that because I want to talk about it a little bit. All right, thank you, Derek. For me, honestly, I enjoyed it. I was ready to hate it. I was hearing from all my fellow critics, everybody else, the AI conversations, which we'll talk about in just a second as well. without spoilers, or we'll save that for this part of the spoiler portion at the end of the credits. But again, I'm not a super fan of this franchise. You know what I'm saying? Just tell me a good story, and I know what to expect. This is the 7th edition of this series. And did they continue to give you what you expect out of a Scream film? Yes. But this time, and I would say this probably echoes with you, Derek, is what connected me with this one was trauma, PTSD, dealing with trauma. But I think the biggest component as well, with that trauma being said, is a parent dealing with trauma, but with a child in that equation. The familiar bond. And because Derek and I are parents, that is what connected with me. I have a daughter getting ready to go off to college. You have a child getting ready to go off to college, Derek. That is what was the hook, line, and sinker, and they had me locked in from jump. Although, we got to talk about that opening again, because which Scream is infamous for their openings. What that had to do with the rest of the story, I don't know. But, yeah, when we finally got to Courteney Cox being a mother, Tatum, the child, and also point of reference to a previous friend of hers that was a best friend of her to her, and just a mother and daughter trying to connect, that got me in there. And then you have this killer coming back. You have a husband that's very protective, along with a mom that's super protective, and then trying to deal with friends. They've gone through it. They know what to look out for. And then now we're dealing with all these various characters. I thought they put it together and referenced the other films in a great way. And where have you been? What happened in New York? We brought back Mason Gooding and the sister. I love the two of them together, by the way. They're two of my favorite characters that we got from 5 and 6. If that was their start, I'm not sure. But I love them. And yeah, just all around. And then the throwback love to Stu Macher, to Matthew Lillard, to some of the other characters. I thought it was actually pretty well done and well written. There are some people out there that were saying this was an AI generated script because they had to turn it around in so much quick of a fashion because of the losses of Barrera and Ortega. But I thought, okay, I hope it was an AI because fuck that noise. But I thought it was good. I thought it worked for me. So we'll talk on some of the AI stuff because that also leads into spoilers. And just some of the other, it does have its problems. Don't get it twisted. It has its problems. But overall, I had a good time. Let me give you some more awards, Derek, before we close it out and then get to the spoiler portion. So yeah, I'm with you, man. I had a good time with it, Derek. I'm surprised they didn't let us screen it as earlier as press.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm not surprised because we know how Hollywood do, and yeah.
Yeah, and speaking on the script and the opening, yourself, me being a cinephile, yourself being a filmmaker, you can kind of tell that they really did let Kevin cook the way that he normally cooks, which is fine. I mean, I get it. It's a business. You want to meet that release date. You want to kind of get the jump on the spring stuff that's coming out. But I mean, it's like you almost wish they had really let Williamson just go balls to the wall and really go all out. I mean, I think the opening is him. I think there's some other stuff that's him, and the rest of it is probably James. Not necessarily an AI script, but it's just like kind of almost like, all right, we hired you. Here's your money. It's a shitload of money. Just get it out. You don't, nothing fancy, nothing spectacular. Just get it out. So that's like the biggest thing is just they didn't let Kevin cook. And when we go into the spoilers, I'm a couple of nuggets that I would have put in there that could have maybe not made my problem be so adamant, because I was just, you guys are seeing the spoiler what we're talking about, like the biggest problem with the film.
So let's get to it. But before we get to it, let's close this portion out and they can hear our convo on the spoilers. Would you recommend Scream 7, Derek?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's a harmless one-time watch.
Yeah. I think it's a good entry into the series. I do sorely miss Melissa Barrera and Jenna Ortega. I would love to have those stories come back, maybe, fingers crossed, hopefully, and come to a conclusion. Am I happy with the studio because of those, and why I don't think it'll ever come back? Because the studio's corrupted and all that kind of bullshit? Yeah, I'm worried, but it's popcorn, fun. It fits with the series. I'm a fan of Neve. I'm a fan of everybody else as well. They all cooked, and it was enjoyable. So, yeah, overall, I would recommend it as well if you're a Scream fan. But understand if you also have the other problems with the studio, because I do as well. But yeah, there you go. Derek, how can people check you out on Reviews and Done and all the things?
So all social platforms, just type in reviews and done, and you'll find your boy.
All right. All of Derek's links are in the description below, along with your boy Kui P. That's me. Go check us out, support, like, subscribe. You're already on NRW right now, so thank you. Please make sure you hit the notification bell, subscribe, do all the things, and then also support my brother Derek. Stay tuned to after the credits. Derek and I are going to get into some spoilers, but those are our thoughts on Scream 7. Go check it out. Derek Dunn, Kui P, Nerds Rule the World. All right, y'all. It's the end of this the episode review. As we said, we're going to get into some spoilers. Derek, to kick us off, the opening sequence, which is infamous with the Scream series, it's a nod to classic horror and all of that. My biggest thing with it, while it was cool, I actually enjoyed the opener. I love kind of that nod to the past. I've also been to, I love going to check out film locations and where they shot stuff. So I'm kind of like that inner nerd that is that guy in that opener as well. Yeah, but to me, in regards to the deaths in that, if you will, to go into the rest of the film, it just, how does that fit coming off of the other stuff? And then to the reasons why our killer, who I know you're going to talk about in a little bit, would have killed those people. Why murder those people in that house and burn the house down? I don't understand that opener. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah,
don't fit.
So again, I told you I was going to say a couple tidbits. So it's a very solid opener. I mean, opener's good.
It is a solid opener, but it don't fit into the reasons why.
Jimmy's the man. And like my man is saying, it doesn't fit. And from a cinephile standpoint, from a filmmaking standpoint, all you had to do was give a simple line like, Tater's a babysitter, went to Woodsboro to go check the house out. Something like that would have connected it a little bit more, but like it just doesn't, it doesn't connect. Again, simple little line could have easily connected it. Now, let's get to this killer.
All right.
Okay.
Anna Camp. Shout out to
Anna Camp. Shout out to Anna Camp, because Anna Camp
wasn't she Pitch Perfect? I'm sorry, like from Pitch Perfect to Scream Killer now, which is crazy.
And I thought, yo, man, that little showdown between the two of them was a solid showdown. She was a solid villain, but it's just so freaking random. There's no kind of like build up, no kind of.
It's weird, man.
It's just theirs. And again, a simple line, something to where it's like something from like Scream 4. Alison Brie's character, she could have been the sister of Alison Brie's character. She could have been something like, yeah, I went to your seminar when you were in Woodsboro. My husband was abusing me. That inspired me. You disappeared. Something to connect it. A simple little line would have helped it out, because it's just so random, and it downplays Anna's, like, when she actually goes batshit crazy, kind of downplays that. Your man Ethan Embry. Now,
yeah, shout out to Ethan Embry. Yeah, I was like, what? Yeah,
I didn't know he was in the movie. I didn't know he was in the film until I actually saw it, because they kept.
When I saw him, I was like, oh, he's gonna be one of the killers.
Yeah, and
he's gonna be one of the ghost faces. Yeah,
with him too, it's like it's random. It's just like, yeah, we're in a mental institution. I used to be in IT, doing AI now. With him, you could have something where it's like he was a failed filmmaker. He had this, like, I guess almost like with Randy in part 1, where Stu was like, yeah, maybe you're not Stu, Billy. Maybe your movie war mind finally, it finally cracked. Well, this guy's a filmmaker. He failed as a filmmaker, and now he's just an AI to kind of like get back into the thing. But it was just so freaking random. And with Anna Camp too, also, man, how in the hell you just let your kid get murked like that. Like it's nothing.
No, you let them murk. You let your new boyfriend murk him. But here's my thing. I'm gonna have to go the other way with you on it. I kind of the understanding within the film is that she was in an abusive relationship.
Yeah.
She got put into the hospital. That's where she met Ethan Embry's character. I have to disagree with you. It makes sense because, she was inspired by the book, and all that. And then her hero in Sidney fell through. But to become the neighbor, but then you let your son get killed, that's to me where it falls apart. And you let your boyfriend, or you possibly killed your own son. Who knows? Yeah. We don't know which Ghostface killed because they were wearing the mask. But that's where it's all screwy to me. And then you had the boyfriend who was actually the top on my list initially. They made us think the boyfriend, for a while. Even gave us the laptop. And then you leave him in the car. You have the other Ghostface, and that's where I was like, hold on. There's obviously two Ghostfaces, but the boyfriend will come back and reveal that he's Ghostface. But then when he gets stabbed up, I'm like, oh, I guess not. But it was just a lot of all over the place, which did that to me is just a lot. And then just Anna the neighbor. It's kind of hard to believe Anna because she's always been a comedic, actor. But there's a lot of weird holes. But again, overall, you had a good time. I had a good time.
It was just Anna crazy. Only had maybe 3 or 4 scenes in the entire film, and it's like they're all with Sidney, and it's like, I'm your neighbor, but it
was a weird how it came all together to the conclusion.
Yeah, because even with Mickey in part 2, which was almost kind of like not really out of left field, but it was like when he explained, it's like, oh, it makes sense that he's, the Ghostface, and then with Anna, it was just like, and I'm happy they didn't go the whole route with it being Stu's sister or something like that. It's like,
or being Stu coming back.
Yeah, the whole thing with trauma. Dead. Yeah, but what you alluded to, the whole thing with trauma, that actually, like, it works. You almost want to go into the whole thing, never meet your heroes because they're going to disappoint you. So that's kind of what they were going for, but it just wasn't fleshed out for the reveal to really the reveals to me to really stick. So you could have had it to where when folks start dying, like it kind of re-cracks something in Anna to where it's like, you know what, I'm getting the hell out of Dodge. And then she comes back and it's like, oh, the entire time it's like you were really, behind this entire thing. So yeah, I mean that was my biggest biggest gripe. Supposedly they're saying like, Neve and Kevin have a good idea for
an 8?
For an 8 to where else somewhere else they can go. Again, hopefully they can say with Suffolk and Melissa, they can work that out, because I would like to see the whole thing with bringing in Sam and Tara's mom and kind of wrapping all that up, and then seeing will Sam finally go fully to the dark side and, embrace her inner Billy Loomis and start killing folks. And shout out again to Mason Gooding and Jasmin Brown for surviving.
Getting knifed up and still fighting back and coming through.
And surviving and making it
Can we just talk real quick about the dumb choices though throughout? Obviously, we wouldn't have a horror movie. We wouldn't have a Scream if they would have just stayed in the damn panic room. They would have been fine. They would have been fine. We wouldn't have the rest of the movie if they didn't stay, if they would have just stayed in there. But just some of the dumb choices, man. I'm yelling at the screen like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, again. Overall decent. You just have me thinking about a few things at the very end when Courteney Cox says, I want to give you a ride. I don't know about you. Again, this is a franchise. Talking about a Scream 8, I had half a feeling, hold up, is Courteney Cox now going to become the next Ghostface because she wanted to give Neve a ride in the vehicle to the afterwards, right when it's closing out. Would we go Ghostface with Courteney or Courteney working with the new Ghostface for Scream 8? Because that's kind of like the last thing that Courteney says to Neve as we close out Scream 7.
I'm going to give you a ride.
Yeah.
Again, it does have its problems, but I mean, it's a Scream film. And again, I do think that, they were to her to get it out, and they wanted to kind of quote unquote silence the haters, which it had to get opening weekend, but the problems are there. And you being a filmmaker, deep cinephiles, deep screen fans, you're gonna see what the problems are. But it's no shade to Neve. I mean, Neve was fine as always. Courteney was good. Kevin is a great director if you just let the man cook, just let him cook, let him do his thing. And bring this franchise out. And the problems that are there, they're so fixable with just a couple lines of dialogue. Like a couple lines of dialogue would have fixed a bunch of these problems, because again, the biggest thing is, as good as it was, the opening scene doesn't really connect to the rest of the film. Because even when the dude called, he was like, "Hey Chief, you want to hear this?" He's like, "Oh, fuck that, like I'm going to the school." So like they talk about it for like 2 seconds, then it's like,
yeah,
there's nothing else about the opening, the opening kill.
Definite lot of holes, but overall, you're dialed in for Scream 8 already.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, same. I'm curious. I'd love to see him back. Before we close out, all right, so we have kind of our thoughts. If they do a Scream 8, Derek and I will be back. We'll definitely talk about it. But one of the things I really want to quickly bring up, from the horror side of Scream to the comedy side of Scary Movie, did you see the trailer right before your Scream 7 viewing for Scary Movie? They're back. The comedy series from the Wayans brothers that made fun of these movies. I'm excited for that. I'm curious of your thoughts of Scary Movie coming back with the Wayans brothers.
Oh yeah, definitely. Big fan of the first two. I'm actually, man, I was getting up to go refill my drink, and then I saw the red band trailer. I'm like, let me stand to the side. And right away, as soon as it started out with the train thing, I knew it was Scary Movie. So it's good to see everybody back. Knowing Marlon and Sean, I doubt everything funny's in the trailer. I mean, it's probably gonna be a lot of more things they're gonna hit us with.
Definitely fingers crossed that there's gonna be more outside of that. But looks great, man. I'm ready for that. I love that we're getting that. You know what I'm saying? Scream is back, and now they were already back with 5 and 6. Let's not get it twisted. A lot of people are like, "Oh, Scream's back." No, it's been around, but Scary Movie is back to give us more. I'm excited for that. But there you go. Those are our thoughts. Reviews and done. My man Derek Dunn. I'm Kuya P. Nerds rule the world. Let us know what you think. Are we off? Did you hate it? We know the world hates it, but to each their own. It was fun for me. It was fun for my boy Derek. And it is what it is. Not everything's for everybody. But there's a lot of shit going on in the world, and we need something to get our mind off of that stuff. So there you go. Those are our thoughts. Thank you, brother. That's my man Derek Dunn. I'm Kuya P. Nerds rule the world.
All right.
All right, brother. Thank you, man.